Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. So feel free to sit down, Tropical. Welcome back to the Compel Reality Podcast. Obviously, I'm your host.
I've never been here before, so
you're okay. You're okay. You have your your host Solby C, and your co-host Gramsy, and our special guest Tropical from. Is it Xlab?
Is it?
It is Xlab. You pronounce it
okay.
right.
Is it AEXLAB or AEXLAB?
AEXLAB.
Honestly, at this point, I don't give a fuck. Whatever you want to call it, as long as you play Veil.
AEXLAB. How about that?
Xlab.
I'll call it AEXLAB.
You guys saw that stupid Twitter post? My favorite part is, I swear, there's like half the team still doesn't say it right. It's been like a year, and I'm like, guys, like, come on.
I know. I just saw the clip the other day of John Cletus. He's like AEXLAB.
Oh, that was good.
It's awesome.
That was good.
So yeah, if you couldn't tell, our guest is Xtropical. He is the CEO,
AKA Chief Hype Officer.
Chief Pipe Officer over at Xlab.
I'll take pipe too, but I usually do the hype. I'm good at the hype. I'm not sure about the pipe.
Well, you're the pipe officer now.
Who promoted me?
They are developing a game called VAIL. It is a VR FPS shooting game in virtual reality. Mm-hmm. It's really awesome. They're about to enter their beta here pretty shortly. Within the next couple of weeks here?
On the 1st. It's on the 1st.
On July 1st, supposedly.
Supposedly, assuming everything goes correct.
That means that I just tested some shit today, and I'm not feeling too hot about it. So
I feel it.
Let's see. July 1st, like either something's gonna happen. Something will happen on July 1st. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
I mean, I have faith in you guys. You guys got a pretty fucking talented team. Like I'm pretty sure you guys will be able to.
I agree. I'm the dumbest one on the team, so I feel pretty good about that.
I don't know about that. You're making the business moves, man.
Bro, I'm just hyping shit up that deserves to be hyped.
Yeah, Veil definitely deserves the hype.
Yeah,
I see.
VR in general deserves the hype, guys. Like this shit's dope.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. I seen Viper's video on Veil today.
That dropped.
That was good.
Did you do a video
Viper's
on it too?
Funny, man. Viper was so funny.
That's awesome.
I love Viper, man. So
the
good.
little commercial skit he did in the middle of it.
Yeah, I was dying. I heard the joke he said about Thrill, whatever, or like the furry thing or something like that.
Yeah.
I was dying.
Honestly, Lonely Viper got me good. Like that was a good one.
Yeah, Viper's one hell of a cursed individual. I feel like I'd vibe with that man for real, 100%. He just says the most cursed shit all the time. It's so good. So, do you want to introduce yourself and describe what you do and so on?
Yeah, so my name is Jonathan. I also go by Tropical in the world of gaming. I am one of the 3 founders of AEXLAB and VAIL VR, a competitive VR first-person shooter with social experiences, and our main focus is competitive esports. I genuinely believe that VR esports is going to be the future of everything. Like, it's just too fucking dope, and I feel like it doesn't get enough love, and one of my jobs is to give it some love. So here I am.
Hell yeah!
I think that's kind of a larger symptom of just VR in general as a whole right now. Like, because I mean, you just look at it and it's like really. I mean, I guess it's been around mainstream for years now, but it's really only just in its infancy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Like, I feel like it just got mainstream with the Quest 2 and the meta name change.
Yes,
but it's not going to go full mainstream until a gaming company like Sony does something. So I'm betting on PSVR 2. I think that's gonna be the next thing, because really, like, I don't know, I learned one thing in business school, and the one thing I learned is if you compete on cost, you are destined to fail. So Quest, in my opinion, they're competing on cost.
Right.
And, you know, literally, like, you talk to people and they're just like, oh, I bought a Quest because it's $300 and it's so affordable and it's cheaper than a PlayStation, it's cheaper than an Xbox, it's cheaper than a television, a computer, or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Right.
But that's not a good reason, right? I think it's good to get mainstream people to buy it, to try it. But when you get something like PlayStation VR 2 or maybe an Apple product, they don't compete on cost. They just compete on having dope shit, and people buy it because it's dope, and they're willing to pay more for it. So
exactly,
you know, Quest 2 brought mainstream attention, to VR, but mainstream gaming attention, I think we're about to experience next year, and that's what I'm really, really excited about.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you there. I think within the next couple of years here, we're really going to see a huge explosion in like the level, the depth, and the quality of the VR games that are coming out. Because I mean, now, regardless of whether you think it's a good or a bad thing, we've got AAA companies that are just now finally starting to really dip their toes into the VR space. I mean, you look at like
I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing. I think it is overall a good thing. I think they're going to learn some hard lessons. But you look at like, Assassin's Creed, even rumors around like Call of Duty and Killzone potentially getting VR titles now. This is something that's coming. It's just a matter of time. But I think it will be a good thing.
Yeah, I'm excited. I genuinely think that we need more VR games and more competition in the space. I feel like there's not enough developers. There's not enough games. And I feel like the more games and more developers, just the better the ecosystem. So I'm definitely excited to welcome some competition. And let's see what happens. Call of Duty, the leak rumor that everybody was talking about. When that rumor came out, I was getting phone calls left and right from investors and gamers and everybody saying, oh my God, is this good? Is this bad? Are you excited? Are you nervous? Like, what's going to happen? I was just like, look, my honest opinion is either Call of Duty, this was under the assumption Call of Duty was coming out. But under the assumption that Call of Duty VR was coming out, I said, more likely than not, it's going to flop just because game devs that try to make VR games, just they don't understand VR.
Right.
So I think it was I literally was like, look, if it comes out, it's either going to flop and we're just going to look that much better, or two, it's going to be super successful and more people are going to come to VR. And I'd rather have, a small percentage of something awesome and massive than 100% of nothing. Right. So no matter what, I was pretty happy about it. The only thing is I was very disappointed when it turned out that it wasn't true. And I personally love Call of Duty, so I was really hyped on that.
Yeah.
And the last time I was hyped for a first-person shooter game in VR was Medal of Honor. And
look at how that turned out. Yeah, there's another example.
Y'all know. I was really disappointed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it may not have been announced, but you never know. Something still might happen in the works. You just never know. Especially with big companies nowadays, you just don't know, man.
I mean, Infinity Ward did mess around with Call of Duty VR back in the day with
like the Infinite Warfare. Yes. They made like some experience thing. Yeah, it was short. It was cool, but definitely want something new.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, they did at least dabble in it a little bit. So I think we might see something from them. I mean, probably sooner rather than later. I mean, I know rumors aside, and I know nothing actually came of that specific one, but I wouldn't be surprised. I think people are really starting to catch on to this VR trend because it's exploding right now. I mean, you look at IDC, International Data Corporation, they did a survey on the VR market, and and I said this last episode too, just in the last quarter of this year, the VR market expanded by 240 some odd percent compared to 97% for the entirety of all of last year. So I mean, that just gives you a view of just how exponential this thing is blowing up.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I genuinely believe that by the end of this decade, so 2022, about 8 years from now, I wouldn't be surprised if VR is equal, if not greater than traditional PC console gaming.
I would agree. I would absolutely agree, at least within the next decade.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see, because it's growing massively pretty quickly. So, I mean, to see what will happen in that span of time, in the matter of this current decade, it would just be... I mean, we're already getting the treadmills. We're already getting...
The treadmills are insane, bro.
Insane full body tracking, and you're getting insane finger tracking stuff already is implemented.
Yeah, look at finger tracking.
Good fingers.
Why is this hand like peace and love, and this hand like I can't do anything?
I have. You're on Quest. I have no idea.
YOLO.
Hey man, if it works, it works. I know Panda is a very big advocate on the Quest.
I mean, to be fair, the Quest 2 isn't a bad device. I think it's actually
for sure.
a very...
I mean, I'm using it right now. I like it. I think it's good.
Yeah.
With the link cable.
Yeah. I've been using my index ever since it released, so I'm used to this. And I actually bought a Quest 2 because I'm about to do a comparison video for the Arpara 5K and the Quest 2 because they're both all-in-ones. and just trying to figure out the Quest 2 UI and shit is just hurting my brain. I'm literally, my brain is going through it's getting mincemeat right now. Okay, it literally feels like I'm getting ran over by a truck because my brain just can't handle it.
Yeah. I fully believe the Quest 2 UI is actual fucking AIDS. That's my opinion on it.
I mean, I'm just so used to Steam VR products. That's just me. So I have no real issue with Quest as a whole. I'm so used to Quest. I had started with the HTC Vive, and I went to the Valve Index. So it's just trying to get used to it and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into the history of XLab and VAIL?
So, look, you guys got me for a whole hour. Whatever you guys want, I'm just your pawn here, right?
I want to learn about the man, the myth, the legend, Jonathan Ovadia. Tell us about your the VAIL origin story and what led to the creation of XLab.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's I don't even pay attention to it because I just live it. But sometimes every now and then I reflect on everything that we've done and how we got here, and I'm just fuck, I could have never planned this. I'll try to make it a very short story because it's very long, and I'll try to hit the main points, but feel free to ask me questions. So, long story short, I love gaming since I was a kid. I never knew that it was even a possibility for a career. I got sucked into RuneScape for a few years where I pretty much lost my life, and I've never been happier. If I look at a point in my life of when I was the happiest, it was literally just RuneScape. And then World of Warcraft. RuneScape and World of Warcraft were two highlights of my life to this day still.
RuneScape
is that's so hard, dude.
Yeah, man.
I get big nostalgia.
I grew up on RuneScape.
Yeah.
I grew up with RuneScape, man.
Player killing in the wild, when you're a little kid and you kill a motherfucker and you take some shit from them and you're doing math in your head, that's $20. I was killing it.
Yeah.
And then when you had a clan. When you had a clan and it was just clan wars, there was so much on the line. That was dope. But what ended up happening is I was buying some gold and selling some gold. I tried to make some money out of it. I ended up I don't know, I got banned from selling and buying gold, whatever. So then when I was my friends were yo, try World of Warcraft. And I was in World of Warcraft for 4 years, and that was just RuneScape on crack. It was just so much better.
Yeah.
And then I did World of Warcraft for 4 years. And then I ended up, buying and selling gold, and I got banned for it. And what ended up happening is I bought an account on eBay for $1,000, which is a bunch of money. That was my Christmas present. I was Mom, I need to buy a no mage. I need it to be even better than the one I had, so I don't feel sad about it. I bought it. I had the best 30 days of my life. And then the motherfucker used the security questions and took it back from me, and there was nothing I could do on eBay, and that was just me kind of all right, I gotta stop gaming. My sister was terrified that I was gonna become some nerd that doesn't have friends and doesn't leave the house. And I still think that too. But whatever. Long story short is that was kind of the ending of my hardcore 100-hour a week need to skip school, play World of Warcraft, and then I transitioned into Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and that was still fun, a few hours a day, and I really fell in love with Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And I still play Call of Duty to this day in Halo. So,
Hell yeah.
MMORPGs were you wake up and you're playing until you sleep. It's your life. Shooter games.
It's you live
kind
and
of
breathe
help you because it's 2-3 hours of ponage, and then you're back to your life. You don't really, miss out on things.
Right.
Anyways, that was my childhood. And then growing up, my mom was, my mom was a single mother. She was always you need to study. I was the first, child to, in our family to go to college. So I ended up going to college because that's what I had to do.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what I wanted to do in life, but I studied business because that's what everybody studies when they don't know what they want to do, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's so true.
Sounds smart. But whatever. I studied business for a year in Santa Monica College. It was a community college in LA because that's where I was living, and I didn't know what to do. My brother Albert Oud, he's the CTO of the company. He's my older brother, and he's the smart one. He has had a music label for a long time, and he kind of told me, yo, come move to Miami, I'll give you $500 a month, help me out. We have a few artist signs, we do bookings and tours and things like that. You can do it while going to college. So I lived on his couch. He had a 1-bedroom. I lived on his couch. He gave me $500 a month, and I was basically the studio manager. and I went to college, and I was just like a normal kid. I always thought I was going to get into like hotels or real estate or something, because that's like what you do in Miami, right?
Right. That's like the thing in Miami, yeah.
Real estate shit. And then what ended up happening is in 2014, Elizabeth, our other founder, she is a musician. She got sponsored by Red Bull Academy, and she wanted to make a VR music experience. And her idea was, I want to make a fully immersive, interactive, single players, like story-driven game where every level is a different song, and every song and level is like a representation of like what I would imagine, kind of like an interactive music video thing. And it was dope. And from 2014 to 2016, she was designing, creating. Albert was engineering it all. And, you know, closer towards like 2016, when we started having like a working game, I started reaching out to like PR people for the VR world. We started doing like VR installations at museums and music festivals and like Red Bull pop-ups. And I was the one that was like lugging around all the hardware and, you know, trying to set it up. I was like the least technical person ever. So like nothing ever worked. But then smart people would come and be like, yo, VR just doesn't work. So you just got to try it the same thing 10 times and it randomly works. And it did. And I was the person that would put on a headset on people and show them VR for the first time. And everybody was just blown away. Like, holy fuck, this is the future. And it was sick. And then what ended up happening is, you know, some people, most people would say, how do I get this, right? And then some people would say, you know, well, first I tell them, you know, it's $3,000-$4,000 to get like a good setup. Most people said, I can't afford that, not worth it. Some people would say, okay, I can pay that. What else can I do with it? And there really wasn't much. It was like the lab, some archery game, Beat Saber. That's it.
This is what year again? This is about 2016.
Like
you said
the inception basically of like VR games.
2017, and then what ended up happening. This is where the organic part got it interesting. So I was like a senior in college, and then I was getting closer to like the real world, and I was fucking freaking out because I didn't know what I wanted to do. So Albert started working on the second project, which was his VR music video experience, because he's also a musician. And it happened really organically. He wanted to take it a step further. So instead of just being like a single player story-driven game, he wanted to give it like some gamification. And he comes from like a shooter background. Like he's been playing Counter-Strike since Source, hardcore Rainbow Six Siege competitive player. So he wanted to add some guns, and he wanted to kind of gamify it so you could like shoot targets and like get score while listening to his music. I started playing Pavlov and Onward. And, you know, I'm gonna clear the air here. I don't know if anybody cares or not, because I get asked this sometimes. Onward made me fall in love with VR gaming, because like up until then, all it was bullshit tech demos and music stuff. It was cool, but it wasn't like gaming.
It wasn't an actual game.
Fall in love. But the truth is, maybe I sucked at Onward, but it was like I'd play like some rounds. It would be like 5 minutes of nothing, and I'd get shot from who the fuck knows where. And I was like, yo, this is way too hard. And then February of 2017, when Pavlov came out, it was like closer to like Call of Duty. And I was like, this is it. This is my game right now. So I loved Pavlov. And even till this day, if people ask me what should they play, if they have PC VR, I'm obviously like VAIL. They have Quest. I'm like, yo, go play Pavlov, Shack in the meantime until you level up. But anyways, so what ended up happening is I became friends with, you know, a few hundred Pavlov players. Some of them were like top esport players. And I was just friends with them. And at one point, you know, maybe mid-2017, late 2017, I kind of was like, yo, you guys want to come check out what my brother's doing? It's like music, but it also has guns. I think you'll like it. And a lot of them tried it and were like, holy fuck, like, these guns are damn good. And I was even impressed. I was like, yo, Albert, like, these guns are fucking good. like, this is really good gunplay, and it's a music thing. Like, what about if we do, you know, a full game? And Albert, he always wanted to do a game. But, you know, for PC and console, it doesn't make sense because you need so much money, and everything's kind of been done already that without like $100 million, you can't even do anything. And most of that money goes to marketing because there's so many games, it's all marketing. But in VR, we realized that there just wasn't many things. And the two games that I was a part of, which was Pavlov and Onward is like a milsim, and Pavlov was really focused on casual players. Like the owner or main dev, he explicitly stated multiple times that he just didn't care about esports. And no shade at all. We understand.
Yeah,
and we were just like, that's great. Like, one game is milsim and esports. The other game is casual. There is an esport thing that's missing here. And Albert's sick in the head. And he's like, yo, that's the reason why they don't do it is because esports is very challenging. And it's like the hardest thing to do please esport players. I don't want to fucking do it. I'm like, all right, let's go. So we're getting some support from like, these hardcore VR esport players early on. And then 2017 to 2020, it was really like Albert, Elizabeth, myself, and like a mixture of like, or not a mixture, a rotation of about 3 or 4 different people that were just passionate and working on it with us.
Right.
In 2020, and that was like mainly research and development and testing things. And like, even today, there's no real standard for VR. Like, we're still making a standard as we're talking right now, like UI, UX, what people should expect. I still see, like, here I can actually see my body in VR, but most games don't even have full body animation. True. And I think that seeing your full body is like not expected today. Give it a few years. If you don't have a full body in VR, it's just going to be weird.
Yeah,
immersion
I was going to say the same thing. I think it's going to be the standard. I think
I personally want full. Personally, I like the full body thing in every game. Like if, for example, I played Into the Radius recently, and normally they don't have normally they don't have the full body. You have to turn it on, and I think that's a good option for sure. But just personally, I just think full body should be a thing everywhere.
Have the option is for performance purposes, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. But like, I feel like full body should be a thing no matter what. I just feel like that's what
at least people should have the option. I think because like personally, like the way I feel, and granted, Half-Life Alyx is an amazing game.
Bro,
but like
Half-Life Alyx is the best game, and the devs were like, "Yo, fuck full body. That shit's way too hard."
True, but like. Honestly, the main thing that I feel is like missing from that game is the full body aspect. Like I want to feel like I have presence and like meaning inside of the virtual world, and you just don't feel that way without it. At least that's my personal opinion on it.
No, it's my opinion as well. I mean, it's hard being next to Albert and the devs working on a full body animation system.
Yeah,
it's hard. There isn't one VR game that has full body yet. It is like good. It still looks funny in certain positions. It's just it's a very hard thing to do. So I understand why a lot of devs skip on it. It's very hard. But soon, once people figure it out, it's going to be standard, and I think we're getting very close to that.
Yeah.
But where was I again? I forgot.
Oh, sorry. We got off on a tangent about full body IK. You were saying something about.
The game
2017,
after
2020, research and development, trying to figure out what makes sense. I don't even know where I was, but I'll just keep going randomly.
Just wing it. Just fake it till you make it, bro.
So 2020 comes. I graduated a master's program from my college. I got a job in a real estate, hotel development, management business, and to be honest, man, like I was always told, like, the American dream for my family was you go to college, you get a good job, and then you're happy. And the truth is, I got like one of the better jobs out of my master's program because I killed myself. Like I was like failing high school, and then I did a full pivot, and I went for like almost a 4.0 in college because I graduated high school. I was a waiter. I worked at like a retail store. I did like 3 or 4 jobs, and I was like, yo, life is fucking hard. I'm going back to college.
Agreed.
So when I was in college, I like really appreciated it. I was like, I need to get 4.0s, be super smart nerd, and like get money because being, broke kind of sucked. And I'm still broke, but whatever. Now I make games, so like my life is better. Anyways, so I graduated with a master's degree. I had a job working for hotels. 2020 COVID hit, and a lot of things happened at once. One, I kind of like looked at my life and I was like, fuck, I got like a dream job from like my master's program. I'm still miserable. I don't even like this. I'm good at it, but I don't even like this. My favorite shit ever was like finishing that, getting home like around 8 p.m. and staying online till like 3, 4 in the morning. And I did that for about 2 years. And I just love talking to VR people, man. VR people are like the dopest people. Like we're all like positive, trying to build the future and optimistic, and like everything's so jank, but like it's all so cutting edge that it's just dope. So,
the community is amazing.
Yeah, the VR community is one of the best. That's a hill I'll die on.
Oh no, 100%. VR community is like awesome. I feel very like happy. Like this is the happiest I've ever been. Honestly, it's just so nice. But yeah, a lot of things happened where one, COVID came. I was like I was having like a midlife crisis. I was like, fuck, I did everything that I was supposed to do, and like I don't even like my job. I was looking at where VR was, and it was like really starting to grow. And I was looking at our game and all the progress that Albert and Elizabeth and the team made. and I was just kind of looking at the overall like evolution of VR.
Yeah.
And I felt like sad. I was like, wow, like there really isn't that many games. I feel like the whole industry is going the mobile gaming Quest 2 route. And me personally, I publicly said this, so I have no shame. Mobile gaming is not real fucking gaming. Like, it's not. So
nope.
The fact that my favorite thing in the world was like heading towards the mobile gaming way, I was like, fuck, like there's still no game that's like focused on esports. There's all these devs focusing on Quest 2. I felt like almost like we had to do this for the community because the only game I wanted to play is still VAIL. Like, as a shooter, like, maybe I'm biased, but I actually enjoy playing VAIL. Like, I love it, and so does the team.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was talking. We had maybe like a few thousand people in the Discord, and I was like, yo, guys, what the fuck do I do? They were like, you should go try to raise money. So I literally hit up like 100 plus VCs. Never done that in my life. They all rejected me. That's like a whole other story. Every VC rejected me, whether it's because I didn't know what I was doing.
Shame on them.
Or a lot of them said VR is still a niche. Like, I remember I got every month I got some new bullshit. Like, they were like, oh, VR is just a fad. And then when COVID came and VR numbers went up, oh, it's just because of COVID. Guess what, motherfuckers? If you're watching this, it's 2 years past COVID. Numbers are still up. You fucking slept on the wheel. You're not a smart investor. Anyways.
Tell them to shove themselves into a compactor for that.
Hang on, guys. I want to give Tropical some space here so he can take his victory lap real quick because you guys were fucking wrong and he was right.
And VAIL, I'm just gonna say this right now. VAIL is good.
That has to feel like pretty.
Taking the victory lap. Let's go.
That's him doing his victory lap. Like, it does have to feel pretty good though, right? Like, being able to just tell these people that you were right and they were wrong, and being like, yeah, I was actually on to something here. Get fucked.
Bro, it's not even rocket science. I literally explained to investors, I'm like, yo, everyone's like shocked, like, oh, VR is a new thing. I'm like, no, Oculus got acquired in 2014 by Facebook for billions of dollars. It's not a new thing. It's been around. Like, this isn't like it just popped up. Like, metaverse has been around for 20 years. It's just a new word to you, but like it's been around
for real.
Yeah.
Like VR, like what do you call it? A RuneScape and World of Warcraft. All these games are metaverses. Like, I get really triggered. But let's get to the fun part. The fun part is, I was talking to the community. A lot of people wanted to, like, you know, donate money to us or Patreon or Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I also felt like the Oculus Kickstarter left a really bad taste in people's mouths because they donated millions of dollars and then boom, got sold out and they didn't get anything in return.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do that. And I did find one investor that told me, hey, we don't believe in your product, but there's probably a bunch of people that do. So go do something called equity crowdfunding. And I didn't even know what that was. I'm like, I'm not doing a Kickstarter. They're like, no. Equity crowdfunding is Kickstarter 2.0, where instead of just donating, they actually get stock. And I love that. I was like, wait, what? Like, people like to get stock for $100? That sounds really cool. So it took me a few months to like figure it out and set it up. And I had to take loans from friends because I was already like fucking super out of money, like way too much out of money.
Yeah.
But my last like final shot was, let's launch this equity crowdfunding campaign. We did it in March of 2021. We raised like $1 million from like 1,000 VR.
Holy shit.
Remember? Yeah, that was like the moment where I was like, holy fuck, like I quit my job, by the way. I literally quit my job.
Yeah, for $1 million, yeah.
Yeah, I quit my job. And I was like, all right, like people believe in me. We're doing this. Like, fuck that. Like, we're going all out. And then a few months later, they changed the law so you could raise like more than $1 million because there was like a law where you could only raise $1 million every year. So then I went and did it again, raised another $1 million, and I was like, oh, this is great. Like, things are happening now. So that was like $2 million raised, and then we got like real investors that, you know, there's this funny thing that happens that, you know, when nobody wants to give you money, nobody wants to give you money. When people want to give you money, everybody wants to give you money. It's like that like thing where people only want to give it to you when you don't need it. So now we don't need it because we have, 1,500 VR community members.
Right. All
of a sudden, everything started lining up, and we got some really dope investors that believe in the vision. They all believe in the fact that they don't think Facebook is going to be like the overlord of VR, and they think that there's going to be like other startups doing that.
Yeah.
So now we have like cool investors, 1,500 VR gamers. We took our team from like 5-6 people to about 45 people in the last year and a half, 2 years.
Wow.
Our beta comes out next month, and I'm shitting bricks because it needs to just fucking work and be awesome.
Yeah.
Because I just want to do this for the rest of my life. Like, a huge learning lesson. A lot of investors were always asking me like, "What's your exit strategy?" I didn't even know what the hell that meant, and I figured out it meant, when can we make money? And I was like, I don't really want to sell this company ever. I kind of want to do it forever. And then they'd all be like, ooh, okay, that sounds great. Yeah, we're not investing. And I was like, what do you want me to do? You want me to tell you I'm going to go hard on something to sell it? Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like,
yeah,
motherfuckers acting like Mr. Krabs. Give me your money.
I think
give me your money,
I wonder
SpongeBob
if
boy.
part of it is like because I bet you with a lot of them, like they probably do wind up selling their businesses at some point, right? They're like, you want to get it to a point where it's profitable, get it to a point where they can make like a good chunk of money, and then sell the business for a shit ton and just retire, right? Which is probably what like a lot of people do. I'm sure they do.
Not a lot of people make cool fucking VR games that have, 10, 20-year lifespans and infinite amounts of things to build. Yeah. I'm 27, guys. Like, I don't know. I thought about it. I'm like, if I sell my company, like, what the hell am I going to do? Like,
right. Yeah. Like, what are you going to do? Just sit around with all your money? Right.
Like if there was like dozens of cool VR games, I'd be like, all right, I'll go play VR games all day. But I need to build this shit first. Like, it needs to get built.
Yeah, man. But, it's like,
yeah. I don't know what else to tell you. You have questions?
if you want to go for it, go ahead. Graham, if you have any.
I'm thinking right now. Go ahead. If you got something you want to ask. Right
with the team, like I remember, I didn't start content creation at this time, but I think I recall this. I think this is before Thrill. I don't remember exactly when I saw this clip, but I saw VAIL like once on a Twitter post a long time ago, and I thought it was intriguing right then and there. But again, I wasn't doing content creation at the time. I wasn't reaching out. I wasn't going to Discords or whatever. Who did someone like post a video before you guys met up with Thrill Seeker or something like that? Because I feel like I've seen it before Thrill covered it in a video, like a small clip. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I just feel like I've seen it before.
A lot of the first content that came out were like the top 10 teams in like Onward and Pavlov because they were like playing the pre-alpha. So I don't know, maybe you saw a clip of like I remember the day that we had Chill Step. I don't even know who Chill Step is, but Chill Step's like one of the top Pavlov players like ever. And I convinced him to finally try the game. This was it's like really early on. And he made a video about it, and I was like, oh my god, we had the best player ever play our game. And he told us everything that was wrong with it. He was like, this whole thing's fucking shit and broken. But if you fix X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, and like listed a bunch of letters, I'll give it another shot. Fast forward a few years later, he just played it last week, and he's joining the tournament. He says it's fucking dope. So
yeah, look where you are now. It's you guys have made so much progress.
I think you really need that swift like kick in the ass from people sometimes to realize what you're doing wrong and kind of correct your course, because like it could have been way different if he had never told you what was fucked up about it, right? Like,
oh bro, we literally take all feedback. I don't know if you spend time in our Discord, but like I live on it, and like I want to take feedback from people. I want to build this game with the community because the only people that know where VR should go are the VR people themselves. And any dev that thinks they can make a game, not be public about it from the earliest of stages and just come out with the game like when it's ready for beta testing, like you're not going to get a good game. You're going to get a Medal of Honor, like literally.
Yeah.
So,
like
you obviously can tell that none of those people ever played VR.
So do you have anything that you would say to people that want to create a VR game, like developers that want to push their game or idea? Do you have anything that you would advice per se to them?
All right, number one, you're fucking crazy.
If you're not crazy, don't try it.
When we first started, we thought a few $100,000 in 1 year to get a working game, and we're like millions of dollars like 5 years later. So if I knew that day one, I probably would not have started. So I'm glad I didn't know. So being inexperienced was a good thing. No, in all seriousness, the most important thing, if anybody wants to get into game dev, is you can just do it. You can download Unreal Engine for free. You can watch YouTube tutorials, Unreal Engine Academy, like don't go to school. School's stupid. Like my biggest regret in life is getting college loans and like paying a bunch of money every month for like 20 years.
Yeah.
I didn't know this was a possibility. YouTube has all information. Also, be part of the community, because the only way to make a good game in VR where nothing is like there's no standard practices and procedures. You need people to play. You need people to be a part of it. You need people to give you feedback early on. And it's only possible if you're part of the VR community. Like that's why I was telling my investors, like, yo, Call of Duty VR, one, I don't know where they're going to find VR devs because they don't exist these days. Two, if they don't play VR themselves, like, they're not going to make a good VR game, and they need people in the community to, like, be a part of it. And these people are, there's maybe like 1,000 pro VR first-person shooter players. I know most of them. Right. So if there is a first-person shooter game coming out and I don't know about it, I'd be shocked if it comes out any good, because who the hell's giving them feedback?
I remember seeing a Twitter post. I think Panda shared it on It said number one most anticipated VR shooter, and no one's heard of it. It was like a milsim looking game.
To be honest, we're gonna skip this game, guys. I only talk shit or good things about games I believe in.
I think I think I know. I'm not going to bring it up either, because I think I know what you're talking about, because I heard about some of the drama regarding it. But basically,
they're literally so not worth it that it's not like. By the way, I have a very simple strategy, and you're about to find out July 1st. No such thing as bad press. Bad press brings you eyes, and if your product's good, you're going to do good. So I do not. Can give negative attention to things. When I don't like something, the only thing I do is ignore it, because any attention is not worth it. Yeah. And I just want to say that I was going to be super friendly to the devs of that game, because I support any VR game coming in. Yeah. And I think I'm like a super friendly person. Yeah. I reached out to them just like saying, hey, what's up? Nice to meet you. I'm so proud that you're making like a VR shooter game. Like, it's fucking awesome. If you need anything, let me know. Yeah. It was the weirdest thing ever, because the CEO of that company was in our Discord. So I was super happy. I'm like, oh, okay, like, they're friendly. Yeah. Second I sent a nice message, they left the Discord, insulted me, and then in their Discord started saying like the weirdest things about me. And I'm just like, yo, like, thanks for giving me more marketing, but like,
wow. that's kind of cringe, bro. That's pretty cringe.
The VR community is so kind. I have not met one bad apple, really. I've not met one bad apple in this entire community. I may be a cursed motherfucker talking about Truck Coon running me over from anime or some dumb shit, but god damn it, I have never experienced anybody being like actually harsh to each other.
Just like genuinely trying to be like malicious or you know.
I have not sensed any piece of malice from anybody I've interacted with.
Yeah, same.
Obviously we're friends with Panda, Short Stack, in terms of the content creation space, and then obviously we got Bull Chase and everyone else. We've out of every content creator we've met and talked with, no malice whatsoever, none. And even in Discords with the VR community as a whole, with like Pavlov Zombies, like the Pavlov Zombies Discord. I know they share like COD zombie maps and stuff like that. The VAIL Discord.
I've literally never had a bad experience. Like, I've had bad experiences with people like in game. Like, occasionally you run into someone who's just a dick or whatever. But like, that's pretty much every video game.
I have an interesting topic, and I want your opinion on this, because it's something that's very close to home, and it's about to explode, and I'm curious what you guys think. So we recently started making some TikToks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. To compare, because every motherfucker always says,
I know where you're going with this.
Yep. What makes Vail different? And I'm not even trying to throw shade on any other games. Like, I've publicly stated that I love Pavlov and Onward. They got me into VR. Like, that's awesome. Yeah, but you know, I'm a real gamer. Pavlov's casual. Onward is milsim. There is no esport with like not military dude game. Like, there is a big hole missing.
Right.
So like, if you look at our game and you don't automatically understand, I'm confused, because like I get messages like, this looks like a generic first person shooter. I'm like, yo, every asset is literally original assets. That's number one.
Right.
And number two,
it's not like you just recycled stock assets or something.
Yeah, and then number two, this is the part that I understand that people don't know, because we've only given access to about 1,000 people. The game just feels more fluid, and that's like a normal thing, because we've just, we came a little later. Like, newer things tend to have learned from old things.
Right.
But so Panda and Short Stack and I, we didn't know how to reply to comments, so we just started making like comparison videos, and not like in a look how bad this game is. Just you're asking what the difference is. Like, literally look like.
Here's the difference.
there's
Yeah,
physics,
let me show it to
there's
you.
full body animation.
There are people that will think that's an insult though for some reason.
Yeah.
People will think that. I'm pretty sure you've seen some in the comments.
Yeah.
I want to say something. One, anybody that writes any comment, negative, positive, whatever, thank you, because all the negative comments make it
they just add to the engagement. They help out the
number one
algorithm.
video is literally us showing off our AK-47, like just ours.
Yeah.
And then like there's so many comments on that video, people are like, oh, there's nothing different, like all this shit. And we're like, okay. And it blew up. We got like 2.5 million views on it on TikTok. I was like, hell yeah. But what's your opinion? Like, is it like, am I being mean? Like, am I talking shit, or am I just showing comparisons?
No, people are
way.
just being sensitive, and this is a problem that I've encountered on multiple occasions, and it's not just, I don't think it's like exclusive to like your game, because so the VAIL video that I did, like, I don't know how many months ago that was, like almost right out of the gate got a bunch of dislikes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Which is not something that normally happens. And this is a trend that I've noticed exclusively with like the VR shooter space, which is people get really fixated on like a single like VR shooter or game that they stand for, and then they just like won't play anything else. And that's fine. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you have your game, if you have your preference, like, then you just like what you like, and that's okay. But it also doesn't make what other games are doing like less significant or make them worse. You know what I mean? Like, because from the way I see it, I think every VR shooter brings something different to the table. You know what I mean? Like, I love Onward, I love Pavlov, I love VAIL, but they don't all do the same thing. They're not the same game. It's like comparing 100%. Apples to oranges.
Exactly.
Because Pavlov is, like you said, a casual shooter. Onward is like hardcore milsim, like almost like role-playing level type shit. You know what I mean? Like, you really want to get into the game. And then VAIL is like ultra competitive, really good netcode, like very fast paced. Like, they're just different experiences. So being like, Pavlov is the only good VR shooter, I don't know, it'd be like saying like WoW is the only good MMO or something. You know what I mean? Like, because there's so many different MMOs and they all do different things.
Mm-hmm. So I want to tell you something funny. I'll give you a little leak. All the hate comments that I got on the VAIL TikTok because of us comparing ourselves to Pavlov Contractors Onward. Mm-hmm. It's really funny, but after all that, I got really inspired to make a Jake Paul type video where I'm going to drop it on July 1st, and it's going to cause some drama. It's going to cause some drama. If people got offended when I wasn't even trying, like, watch me try to offend other games.
Yeah, I cannot wait for this.
It's a troll. Like, it's obviously a troll.
Right.
But it's gonna be like the funniest thing, and I am explicitly trying Pavlov Contractors and Onward. Like, I'm explicitly trying them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, I say I'm not, like, this is all for entertainment purposes, and you're lucky because I'm bringing more attention to your games.
Right.
But I am trying the fuck out of them, and I got inspired from Jake Paul and all the hate on comments that, like, I wasn't even trying to try anybody. So
yeah,
I am curious to see how that works. Mm-hmm. And
I think it'll probably work. I think it'll probably work if your job is to get people riled up. The VR shooter space is definitely the place to do it.
Every time I try to make good content that's just like nice and wholesome, it doesn't go anywhere. Whenever there's a little bit of negativity, it fucking goes viral, and I'm just like, fuck. And then I started realizing, go look at the news, like Bloomberg or Wall Street Journal. You never see like kitten gets saved. It's like 10 kittens get killed by tiger. Like, it's always like
It's true. Rage sells. Rage is good for clicks, and drama is it makes
those rage compilations.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a different marketing approach, and I'm gonna see how this video does on July 1st. And it's actually probably the funniest video I've ever made with Panda ever. Like, it was great. I just saw it and I was like, damn, like, I'm scared to post this, but let's fucking go.
I mean, Panda's probably more than capable, but if you need any help making that video, you just let me know. I will do it for free.
Depending on how it goes, we gotta make some follow-ups.
I've learned this is probably kind of like a toxic trait about me, but I like sometimes enjoy having fun at other people's expense, like trolling people and like making them rage, especially if it's like if I say something innocuous that like accidentally makes them angry and then I realize that it makes them angry, right? So
you with the Roblox community.
Yeah, so what I learned is that Roblox developers on Twitter really don't like it when you compare their game engine to a mod.
It is though. You're modding the game. You're modding Roblox with their tools. Like, what do you mean?
I know, but like, they really don't like it. Like, so have you seen the I don't know what it's called, but there's a guy who's what's that?
The VR shooter in Roblox?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and it looks insane. Like,
it looks
I was super impressed.
Yeah. So
Haven't tried it though.
I've commented a number of times on like some of the posts that he makes about the game because it looks amazing, and I'm like, whoa, dude, like I can't believe this is basically just like a Roblox mod, right? You know? And a bunch of the developers got super triggered and started responding to me and being like, you don't even know what you're talking about, like really like getting like kind of toxic. And so basically ever since then, I just comment on every single post he makes and say that it's a Roblox mod.
No, but that's the thing. You doing that is good for their analytics.
It's true. Yeah.
100%. And it gives them exposure. Exposure is everything. Comments, likes, retweets, quote retweets, all of it all helps the algorithm. Even if it doesn't even matter what fucking platform you're on, the algorithm is everything.
Yeah.
Everything everywhere.
So in case anyone was wondering about before about the game that we were talking about, I'm not going to say the name of it, but it's basically they're trying to be like Escape from Tarkov, basically, right? But in like VR, pretty much. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you know that, you should be able to figure it out. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Tropical. If you even give credence to like what they're doing, like if I get a negative comment on one of my YouTube videos, I just ignore it. Because they're looking for a response. They're searching to be like validated with their negativity. And
I like to interact with them because like I'll be snarky. I don't care. I'll be getting some shit like your voice sucks. I'd be like, thanks, love you too. Or some dumb shit. I'll interact with them. I don't care.
Kill them with kindness.
Yeah, dude. I don't. For one, thank you for commenting. Thank you for being mean because you're just gonna help me with exposure.
Yeah.
Two, I could give two fucks. I could like just come and I don't care.
Just blow my load.
Yeah, fucking. Do you think I care, dude? Yeah. My content is not for everybody. I know that for sure. I know that for a fucking fact.
Yeah, I mean,
because I
got their own thing.
I'm sure you know, Tropical.
I enjoy it. Maybe I'm a sick bastard.
I just like making the super scuffed shit. I don't know. It's just I've grew up watching shit like that.
Love doing, man.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna let somebody bitch at me if I do my Saturday content, which is like less, scuffed, but I'll still put some shit in there. But like it's like I don't care. I don't care what you say about me. I don't care what you say. If anything, you're helping me get exposure, and I'm A-okay with that, dude.
Joke's on you. You're just feeding into the YouTube algorithm. You're just helping me out, bro. Thanks for the comment.
Dude. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's funny.
To go back onto the Pavlov onward VAIL comparison deal.
Let's include Contractors too. They're a good game.
Yeah, Contractors too.
Oh yeah, Contractors absolutely. For sure.
Yeah,
Contractors is probably the closest thing to Call of Duty for sure, 100%.
Yeah, I would say so. At least currently, yeah.
Yeah. But every game is different. Every game, no matter what. So, like for example, it's kind of a weird comparison, but Blade and Sorcery and Boneworks both have insane physics and insane concepts, and they both have great modding communities. Why would you compare them both? They have the same sandboxy element for sure. That's the same thing with this instance. You're comparing shooters, and they're not trying to be different. VAIL are not trying to be different. They're trying to be different. Like for example, VAIL is not like your typical game, VR shooter. It's completely different, especially the lore behind it. Fox, I believe I covered in my video a long time ago that Fox gave me a brief overview of what the lore is like, and I think it's fascinating. I think it's great. It's its own thing, and you also have to realize Pavlov and Onward are more quote unquote realistic in terms of like military army shit like that. But you also have the Pavlov space for modding, which is great. Like the modding shit on Pavlov is insane with the TTT. You got the Call of Duty zombies, and then you got prop hunt, all that shit. And then with Onward, it's its own thing. Just trying.
Kermit's he's patting you on the head. He's giving you head pats.
I'm just having too much fun, guys. Like, sorry.
You're good, man. It's like Kermit behind. Oh, you want this frog cock, baby?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, take it. Oh baby.
Oh. Hey, fine. Don't get jealous.
But Onward is its own thing. Onward is its own military shooter as well. Like, why would you compare them? And VAIL, honestly, VAIL's probably my favorite of the bunch in general.
I think it's my personal favorite. Yeah,
I love the modding for Pavlov. Don't get me wrong. Like the Call of Duty zombies, it's a great pastime for sure. You, me, and Panda, Papa Boney, a lot of everybody that we know play it off camera sometimes.
It's like completely different vibes though. Like I wouldn't go into Pavlov if I was trying to just like murk some people. You know what I mean?
You're not trying to be competitive.
Like, I would go in there to like chill with the homies.
I did math. I ran algorithms. I built out some of the most extensive financial models ever just to figure out who's talking shit from Pavlov community. And the results are in. It's Pavlov, Shack motherfuckers that can't afford PC VR. It's that simple.
Right.
They're just mad because they can't do it.
Real. I can see that. I can genuinely see that because
I swear.
Because I can really genuinely see that because I mean, obviously VAIL is PC VR, and a lot of the VR space currently is on Quest, and a lot of them can't afford a good PC, and that's understandable. Yeah, but why are you dogging on the game, bro?
Yeah, I don't get
it. Like, I'm just gonna say this right now.
Whatever people do the opposite. So everyone goes Quest 2, we go PC VR.
It's like, why are you dogging on this? Just because your poor ass can't afford a fucking gaming PC. At least,
don't get me wrong. I understand the frustration.
1070, 1050? 1080 is recommended, but like you can run it on less.
Yeah, so come on. Yeah, you can at least muster a cheap computer to experience it. Don't
it's not like you need like a fucking spaceship computer.
Fine on low settings with a $1,200 build.
Yeah. Like, bro, come on.
It's
like
still 4 times the price of a Quest, but if you look at a PlayStation, it's $500, and then a TV is another $500, like $1,000 for a console. It's like
it's pretty comparable.
You also have to think with consoles, generations go in like a new console could pop up the next year. Like with the PC, you don't need that. Obviously,
PCs are just tools for like everything. So
the cool part about a PC is you can just upgrade the components of it rather than upgrade the whole PC. Like if one thing comes out, you can just buy that one thing and upgrade your PC, and now it's better rather than just being like, oh well, now my entire PC is out of date. You know.
Although understandably, there are, especially nowadays, it's hard to get parts for sure. But back then, I mean, back then there'd be no excuse.
Yeah.
Back then there'd be no excuse whatsoever because you could get it. You could definitely afford. Like I helped my cousin build a PC, and I think he only spent like $600 on that shit. Yeah. And he's still using that son of a bitch. Man, come on, you can't. You just can't, dude. You cannot. Why are you dogging on a game that you haven't even played?
Yeah.
My favorite part is I know who has access to the game. So like when people are like, I tried that, it sucked. I'm like, yo, what game are you talking about? Like,
like did we play the same game? It's like that guy from YouTube who did the copyright strikes against Actman. What's his name?
Oh my god,
the guy who was
Quantum TV, dude.
Yeah,
oh my
Quantum
god.
TV. He made that like awful
Elden Ring
review.
Mark my words, if I ever get invited to a real, like, in real life talk show type thing,
I'm
just gonna stand up and just, like, randomly walk around like acting like nothing.
Just go Tom Cruise on their ass.
Tom Cruise did that?
So I actually really wanted to ask you about this because something you said earlier reminded me of it, Tropical. But
You got
said
10 minutes. Ask me anything. Truth or dare. Truths only.
10 minutes. That's perfect. That's enough time. So you said, you talked to these investors, right? And they were like, what's your exit strategy? So you don't have an exit strategy. Your goal for this game is to just take it as far as you can go with it before.
My opinion is there's 3 things that could possibly happen. 1, we go public.
Yeah.
2, we get really fucking rich and I just buy out all the investors because if they don't want to be a part of it, like I'll just buy them out and pay them like more than they invested.
Sure.
And I'd be very happy to pull, Valve's still private, right?
Yeah.
Epic Games is private too.
Yeah.
That's the thing that investors don't understand. Like, it's always been publishers investing in games because they understand it. Investors want to invest in games because they hear about the hype. They don't actually understand how games work.
Right.
So it's like very difficult for investors to like really understand how games work. But games, when they're good, it's the most profitable thing in the world. Like, I started looking at numbers. I'm like, holy fuck, like, motherfuckers make money. Like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Gaming industry is the largest industry by revenue. It even beats porn. Like, it beats porn and all regular, sports together.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. So either we go public, I buy back shares from other investors, or if PlayStation VR 2 is fucking dope, shout out PlayStation VR 2 if you're dope, because you're not out yet. I'm down for PlayStation VR 2 to acquire us, and we can just make sick-ass Sony games, because, fuck meta, right?
Yeah, fuck meta.
I know Panda's very looking forward to the PSVR 2.
PSVR 2. Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, that's a whole other conversation. I want to stay focused on VAIL and Xlab and Tropical here. But so, like, have you ever had, right? Because this is like a huge problem with, I want to say, like, probably just the gaming industry as a whole. I don't think it's specific to VR gaming, but like a huge problem with AAA gaming for a while now has been that you have these dudes in suits who have never played the game, who don't know how to make a game. All they know is good investment strategy and maybe some, like, solid business practice. And they come in and they buy these games and they buy these companies. And
then they destroy them.
And then they destroy them and run them into the ground because they have no idea what they're fucking doing.
That Meta's bought. Shout out every game that Meta's bought, literally.
Right, but it's like either they make a game that nobody wants to play because it's being run by dudes who have never played a game.
Well, I can literally tell you why it happens because, for us, I play games, the whole team plays games, and we let gamers play the game day one, like literally when there's nothing. The normal way to do it is you have focus groups and like it's old people like with little kids and like they take surveys. And, like, honestly, they're trying to fucking put a formula on fun. You can't put a formula on fun, but they try. And then they also don't want to show the game until, like, it's ready. So it's always private, NDA, everybody. Like, no one can stream, no one can share anything. So it's, like, way too late by the time that people actually give feedback. And then you pull a Cyberpunk or a Battlefield. And Cyberpunk, by the way, the developers, because this is how it works, and I've been learning as I go, and it makes me more confident in the way that I approach business.
Yeah.
Not knowing how the games industry works and just doing what I think makes sense was probably our biggest strong suit. So when you do marketing on a large scale, like I'll give you an example, Call of Duty or Cyberpunk, those are like $3 to $400 million budgets.
Yeah.
50 million to 100 million was the game. The rest, which was like 200 million, 250 million, was all marketing. When they do marketing, they buy marketing 1 or 2 years in advance, like literally.
Yeah.
So when you give a timeline on a game, it's actually impossible to give a real timeline on a game. So what ends up happening is as you get closer, there's all these publishers and marketing people that are like, yo, we have ads, we have this, we have that. It's all going out. So you need to just release the game no matter what. Also, old people think that you have to launch a game for Christmas because that's like the best time to launch a game. Elden Ring proved everybody wrong that you can drop random as fuck and still be number one because gamers play games 24/7, and if there's a good game, they'll buy it. So, number one myth, you need to launch holiday season, fucking wrong. Number two myth, you need to, sorry, that's not a myth technically, but marketing people and investors, they like get an agreement and they say like you're going to launch on holiday season, and it comes down to that time, and then, this is the truth, it's really sad to say, but I'll say it. Cyberpunk was not ready. The investors said, we don't give a fuck, you're launching it. We have a bunch of money behind marketing. And this is my assumption. My assumption is they said, we're still going to make $1 billion in revenue, and we don't give a fuck if people don't like the game. Same thing for Battlefield, 2042. So these games that charge you up front, the incentive is not there, because if they put enough money in marketing, like, you want to sell all the copies day one before the reviews come out. And then the reviews come out, too bad, they already made their money. They spent $300 million on Cyberpunk. They made $1 billion in revenue. Yeah. Who gives a fuck, right?
They don't care. You're paying the money up front, so they already pocketed it. They already profited.
Same thing, Amazon New World. You know that game? You ever played it?
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Well, good-ish. What? It's good until like level 30, and then it gets boring.
Bro, it gets so boring so quickly. Yeah. And I feel like I can't tell like what the hell's even happening with the lore. And on top of that, I don't know if you were part of the early days, but like there was all these like exploits where you could literally duplicate gold, and it created a lot of problems in the actual economy of an MMO. I remember that. Yeah. So the whole game was broken from scratch, like super fucked. Yeah. Also, they made you need money for like every interaction, and it was very hard to get money. So like I remember the first bit of the history of the game, like it was too slow, and then everybody started duplicating money, and then like everybody had too much money. So it was like the whole economy was literally destroyed.
Yeah, like, the economy was
But they made, I don't know, $1 or $2 billion in sales, even though it sucks because they put so much money in marketing. So in my opinion, and one of the reasons why I'm so obsessed with launching free to play is because when you launch free to play, it's actually harder for the game to make money unless you're actually a damn good game. So I want to launch free to play. I want to, let people play the game for free. And if they're believers and support us, they can buy things to support us. They can donate on Patreon. They can buy merch. Like, there's a bunch of ways to make money if you're really a good game and you believe in the game. So that's really what I want to do. And I haven't seen like a game launch free to play in VR yet, other than Rec Room and VRChat, which are like social apps, which makes sense. But really no game that I've seen launch free to play. So maybe I'm crazy. Or maybe I'm smart. I'm still not sure, but we'll find out.
I think you're definitely a healthy mix of the two. I think you kind of have to be an entrepreneur. And you know how I knew you were an entrepreneur is when you told me that you were trying to buy and sell gold in RuneScape and World of Warcraft. That's how you know somebody's an entrepreneur from the moment they're like a kid.
If I can as a kid, if I can make 20, 50, 100 bucks a week playing video games, like I was having the time of my life.
Yeah, that's like your whole next month's subscription.
Bro, I don't know if you remember, but you remember the Dragon Whip in RuneScape?
I don't personally. I never played RuneScape that much. I was more into WoW, but
the Dragon Whip, every time you'd pwn someone in the wild, that shit was worth $25, and that was everything, man. You'd go kill someone in the wild, I'd do math and be like, yo, I just made $25. Like, let's fucking go.
Okay, I think we should wrap up here.
Yeah.
So, do you want to shout out anything to?
You want to shout out
anything at all?
Your socials, your online.
Oh, stroke each other. Oh,
yeah. Touch your faces a little bit.
Yeah, touch my face.
All right.
The camera's over there. behind you.
Camera's right behind you.
Shout out Soul BC and Gramsy for being fucking awesome community members for VR. Because we're pushing it forward. I just want to make a good game, and I want more new games, and I want the games that came out in 2017 and 2018 that made a bunch of money to not be so stingy and reinvest it into the space to make it bigger, because VR helped you and you should now help VR.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to say.
I feel it.
So make sure you go. We will leave links in the description for the VAIL Discord and their channels and the TikToks. Go follow them if you're not following now. And join the Discord.
Do all the things.
Get prepared for that beta, because that beta is releasing on the 1st.
I'm excited. Maybe releases July 1st. Maybe. You heard it here first. I'm not sure right now.
Maybe. But either way, I'm excited for its release. I'm excited, personally. I'm going to do some more content on that when that comes out as well. But make sure you go follow those links. And if you got this far, say VAIL is awesome, because it is. Okay?
Yeah.
XLab is amazing.
VAIL is awesome. Oh, are you asking me to say it, or who says it?
No, the comments. All right.
Oh,
you watching. If you got this
camera,
far,
right here? Right here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
If you're watching this right fucking now, leave a negative comment and say this shit fucking sucks.
Yes.
I will respond with kindness.
I will respond with kindness only if you leave bad comments.
Correct. Just roast us in the comments, please. Roast us in the comments.
Just be like, yo, why the fuck are there so many negative comments? This is great. And I'll be like, watch it. You didn't watch till the end.
Yep. So thank you for watching the Compel Reality podcast or the casting couch session.
Last thing, let me talk. Knock, knock, knock. Last thing. If you leave your Discord username in the comments and you came this far to watch, I will randomly select people to give you guys awesome VAIL merch as a thank you.
Hell yeah,
there
dude,
you go.
that's badass.
There you go.
Let's
Make sure you do that.
Get your free VAIL merch, yeah.
Leave your Discord name, though, because if you don't have it, I can't reply to you. It's like very hard.
That's fair.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, John, thank you so much for taking the time to just hang out with us and be a fucking awesome dude. I love you, man.
We love you, Tropical. We love everybody at VAIL. We love everybody at VAIL.
Give the team
I love
our love.
everyone in VR except for 3 people, and you'll find out soon.
I think I already have an idea, but yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us for the Compel Reality Podcast. This has been John, also known as AEXTROPICAL from Xlab, the VAIL team. Thank you so much. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, hit the notification bell, and do the things and stuff.
And if you're on Spotify, hit the download button because that'll help us there as well.
Correct.
So, and Apple Podcasts, still working on it.
Yep.
But it's a thing. So,
when does this go live? I'll shout it on our socials.
It'll be next Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Next Tuesday. Yep.
Yeah, next Tuesday.
Yeah, a week from today. Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Goodbye, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye.